All right. Fridays on the
Fridays has
Edge
been forever. Fridays on the Edge.
with Cloud Underground.
Friday.
Yes, we should all be live. Thank you for joining us on YouTube and Facebook. And thanks to all of our dojo members. I'm also going to drop this link in the dojo so that anyone in there can come and watch.
So we need to catch because we start something, you don't want to just, hey, stuff is happening. There's Fridays on the Edge. If you've never heard of Fridays on the Edge, it used to happen only in our Facebook group from Cloud Underground. That's what this is. And so one of the things that you want to know about Fridays on the Edge is we will be meeting every single Friday. And we used to meet every Friday, but it's been a while because we've been building a business. And sometimes that comes with lots of things that make it really hard to do a lot. So we're also here with the DevSecOps Dojo in a chat. So if anyone wants to actually be in the chat, if you hear anyone talking, they're here too. I just have everyone on speakerphone. So yes, say hi, everyone, if you want to.
No pressure. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I put a link into the chat in the dojo, so hopefully people in the dojo
and just for people watching, so that I continue to let you know what's going on, so you're not just like, what is going on? We just launched a number of new products from Cloud Underground. So we are basically a company where we're a cloud native asset management company. We help businesses build and deliver cloud native assets. But really, we help companies basically produce higher quality, like, solutions, or at least if you need things like QA and improving the quality of your company, the quality of your infrastructure, you want to make something that customers are excited about, and you want to know how to have more excited customers. At the end of the day, the only real outcome of what we help people figure out is how to make your customers more excited about what you do.
Yeah.
That's all we really do. If you so happen to have customers of cloud native solutions.
Yeah, make your customers happier.
Yes. So
that's what we're here for.
If you don't know what cloud native is, that's okay. This is probably not for you, unless you want to be one of those people who learns how to become cloud native, because one of the things that our community is focused on is helping educate people on what cloud native is and helping people who are beginners build their skills. And so that's where the DevSecOps Dojo community comes into play. So we actually have an open source community where we build our own open source technologies. We build our own business technologies. Everything we do runs pretty much off of our technologies and our stack for the most part. And then we made a dojo built company that we are about to go and basically have jobs for the members who helped build all of these technologies. So we built our own jobs. We built our own everything because we're half crazy. And now we finished building our own SaaS. That's basically a cloud ops SaaS. So for those of you who have operations in the cloud and you're trying to have a more cohesive way to manage everything in the journey, from having a new idea to making your new idea a solution that can be sold to customers, and then maintain and support those customers for years on end, because just starting is not enough. You have to survive and continue to build a business. So anyways, do you want to introduce some of what we're here for today?
Yeah, sure, I guess so. Of course, I'm Laura. I'm CEO of Cloud Underground, and I think Nato gave a good kind of summary. We used to do this a lot. So Fridays on the Edge, I think, is kind of the purpose of Fridays on the Edge is to just kind of create a space for people to come and ask questions, bring ideas. You know, originally the purpose of this was to talk about like edge computing and cloud native concepts. And of course, we're still here for that. We are also here to talk about cloud native entrepreneurship and people building businesses using cloud native technologies. We have our own platforms that we use that people can use, including our open source Underground Nexus, that people can use to build cloud native apps and do cloud native development, streamline your QA and your app development with our platform. So
yeah, just basically be able to build things with more control and more rapidly and be able to do whatever you want. We had this focus of like wanting to make it easier for us to build our own businesses, is where a lot of this started. And then what we ran into is as we were teaching other people the stuff that we know, they inevitably wanted to start businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the years, because we've been doing this for a long time now, I've been doing these types of things since 2016, and then we've been doing these types of things together since 2018. A lot of the people who we started training and working with and teaching, instead of going the standard 9 to 5 route, we've just run into a whole lot of folks just want to do their own thing. And I mean, we do our own thing, so I guess it makes complete sense why someone would want to do that. So we're trying to improve our ability to help support others with those types of goals.
Yeah, and just kind of to go back to what Nato was saying earlier about the dojo. So yeah, we founded the DevSecOps dojo when we founded Cloud Underground, and it's been really instrumental in helping having a community is always nice. Being able to share ideas and develop our technology in the midst of our community has been really helpful. Our community has been hugely instrumental in the development of our open source software platform. And so, yeah, I think I just want to say that we really value our dojo members. Our dojo is free for anyone to join. So if you're interested in joining the DevSecOps dojo, you should definitely do that. You can go to our website at cloudunderground.dev to learn how to do that. It's really simple. It's just a Discord server. Again, everyone is welcome. And yeah, we have used that as a pipeline to help recruit talent and find mentors to help people within that community. So shout out to our mentors. That's something that we've been developing, and that's really
So it's
kind
a
of
newer thing.
ramping up. Like now, is we have now some mentors if people want mentorship in the cloud native space. Depending on like what area you're interested in, we can maybe help you align with one of our mentors. And so we also use the DevSecOps Dojo to help recruit talent for our own projects. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to work with us, that's the best way to kind of learn how to do that and get started.
Yeah. So, and something about the mentorship that we're talking about is this is a fun thing for us is, once again, we're really driven by just like growing community. Everything like our products are all community built, community supported. If you join the DevSecOps Dojo, one of the things we ran into in the past was that we do have a lot of really sort of like experienced, more advanced members, and we've been trying to find more ways to make it so that, because it's really supposed to be for everyone. Like, how do you come in as a beginner and not feel so intimidated? So we're like, well, if you want to get up to speed and you want to build those same types of skills, then just by socializing with folks in the free dojo, we're going to launch something so that basically those who want to mentor folks who are trying, maybe you are that beginner coming into the dojo and you're trying to learn things, we're going to actually launch our own community app that's designed just for those of you who are like, oh man, well, I feel maybe like out of place with all these experienced people, but I want to learn from them. Oh, you can learn from them now. I mean, you can also just chat with folks in the dojo for free. But if you want to really focus in on a specific skill and you're trying to do, you really know what your goals are, you generally want to get a mentor just in general. It's just a helpful thing for those who are just trying to get from point A to point B. You'll notice a lot of those from our community tend to either come from like really advanced engineering background, a lot of cloud engineering, and a lot of like military. A lot of military around us. So if you're into that sort of a thing, even my background's more like ethical hacking, and I have a lot of more like civilian military.
Yeah, a couple of our founders are vets as well, so it makes a lot of sense that that's.
So if that's the kind of stuff you want a career in things that are kind of intense, and I mean it pays well, but it's kind of intense, kind of hard, kind of overwhelming stuff.
But there's a lot of opportunity also, like outside of like the government sector. If you want to develop apps, that sort of thing as well can be. It doesn't always have to be like the really intense thing. That tends to be what we gravitate towards. But cloud native app development and entrepreneurship can be all kinds of things.
So one thing I want to get into while we're doing this is these Fridays on the Ed sessions are also supposed to train what we're doing over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to talk about exactly how the next few weeks are going to go. Anyone who's been working with us for a while kind of has an idea of what's going on, and this has been coming for a while. We've been trying to build this thing called Drop Squads for like 2 years now. And Drop Squads is basically our own kind of gig economy we've been working on that's supposed to. We took the idea of how companies like Uber and Airbnb and these gig companies, if you own a car and want to serve customers with the car you own, you can use Uber. If you own a house and you want to serve customers with the house you own, then you can use Airbnb. And so now there are a lot of people who have their own compute resources, and they might even be like a small business or a small managed service provider, and they have their own assets. We wanted to bring in that same gig model for it's a little more contractor oriented probably than Airbnb. So it's kind of more oriented to, if you contract with people and you're used to freelancing and that sort of work anyway, or you run your own business or a small businesses especially. Uh, Basically, you bring your own compute instead of like bringing your own car or bringing your own house or whatever. And if you know what bring your own compute means, then you know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to go on. And if you don't know what that means, then you can go get a mentor and you can learn what that means to be able to bring your own assets and compute to go and serve customers and make a living, your way. And so, just like companies that are like other gig focused companies, differently from like a multi-level marketing approach or whatever, instead of having like these multi-level marketing tiers and things like that, in a gig model, you're kind of your own business owner and you manage your own pipeline of things. And because it is in the tech sphere, it's probably going to be a little harder to qualify for working with us in our services. But that's also why we're trying to build this mentoring presence, because I will say that you're going to have to go through a qualification process because it's really kind of technical, sensitive. It's engineering. It's not like driving a car. It's a lot more complex, like building the car. You can be like the person building a car or something, but building more compute systems and building, machine learning models, and not just using chat gpt, but building the underlying things that make the equivalent of a chat gpt work. We teach more of that stuff. Other people will teach you how to use a chat gpt. We teach things like how to be the creator and owner of something like a chat gpt. So that's kind of the difference between where we sit in the world of things and where others sit.
Yeah, so quickly, I just want to give a shout out to people watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Yay.
Yay, thanks for watching on YouTube.
And then I also wanted to, transition into a little bit about what we wanted to talk about tonight as far as like
Yes.
the things that we're going to be working on. You alluded to it, and then we got a little sidetracked. Well, now you go for it.
Okay. So for the next 2 weeks, everything's going to be really lean. For anyone who's been in the DevSecOps Dojo this year, who already has, if you have one of our Underground Ops emails and accounts, then you already know who you are. Then you're already qualified to take work from us. If you're trying to learn how to get into our pipeline and do drop squads, right now we are closed for the rest of the year for accepting new people, but you can get approved next year if you want to get involved and help us get to know who you are. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we're not going to work with people we don't know. We have a whole community of people, and if we don't know you, we know a lot of people, so we're going to work with people we know.
Yeah, well, and how do we get to know the people that we work with? Through the DevSecOps Dojo. So yes. It's like not rocket science to like get to know it. Like it's
come meet
not
us.
Like this really complicated like networking challenge. It's just like come to the dojo and start chiming in and be part of the conversation. That's how we get to know people.
Yeah. The resume to us is talking to us. The resume to other people is handing your resume and being one of 5 million people handing in a resume for the same job and competing and hoping that you get to be the unicorn that's selected. Nope, we don't do that. We just have a community, and you can come in and talk to us. And if you talk to us and you want to work out ways to find opportunities with us, hey, business is hard. If you don't get opportunities with us, it's because something was too hard and you didn't want to stick all the way through something really brutal, and that's also okay. We find that like the kind of work we do is not for everyone. But if you're the type who likes the type of stuff that we do, we find that it's kind of one of those lifestyles that if it's for you, I don't really see people leave the lifestyle. So it's like either it leaves a bad taste in your mouth and you're like, or you join the community, check out how things work, and see this kind of a different way of living, a different way of growing your income. So in the DevSecOps Dojo, if you get to know us, we're creating a diversified program for people wanting to build diversified incomes, trying to kind of jump off the ledge on your own. So that's the part that if you don't have an Underground Ops email right now, you'll be able to participate in that next year when we reopen this program. But what you can do for now is meet the people who are already mentors in our community and already work with us, and you can talk to them and get to know, ask them how they feel about things. Like I said, you'll find that we're pretty brutally honest in there. Business is a hard thing, and we'll talk to you about it.
Did we
honestly.
cover what we're doing this next couple
Oh,
weeks?
this
Did
next
we get
yes.
sidetracked again?
So, anyways, the next couple weeks we need to basically get our services set up for. We're launching our Drop Squad services. We have a free program. If you go to our website, cloudunderground.dev, and if you're on LinkedIn or anywhere on YouTube, if you go to our website from one of those, cloudunderground.dev, you'll see that there's this business builder program. If you go and you sign up for that business builder program, it has something called the Drop Squad Survival Guide. The Drop Squad Survival Guide will tell you exactly what our business model flow looks like. And starting next week, we're going to be kicking off our very first test jobs under the Drop Squad model. Anyone who's already in there, I need to detail what that's going to look like because it's going to evolve based on the feedback of our members. So we're going to make the Drop Squads work based on, like, we're doing early test projects now. These test projects will be paid. So for those who are taking the test projects, our early projects, they won't pay as much, but it's going to help us get an idea and get feedback of like, ooh, that didn't really work well with this job board. And oh, that worked really well with this job board. That's yet another reason why we're doing this in a closed group. So this is really a closed beta launch that we're doing. But we're going to also publicize the closed beta and how it's going as content so that people wanting to know how that works for themselves can know how that works. And we also do things like run beta programs for like enterprises and things like that. So if you're wondering like who are our primary clients, mostly enterprises, companies who generate somewhere north of like $100 million in revenues, our most common category of customer. And then the lowest, kind of our smallest common customer that we tend to take on generates about 10 million in annual recurring revenue. But then that's where our members come in, is if you're not one of those giant companies, our mentors have services at price ranges that are dramatically more affordable because Cloud Underground's not affordable. So if you're just some... It's affordable for like businesses. If you're
well,
a business
and we have customer products that are affordable.
That's true. We do have customer
Don't
products.
say that our stuff isn't affordable and alienate all of our customers.
You can actually pay to join and learn how our business model works. So I guess I should say that we are going to let people pay admission in to learn the stuff that we're teaching our Drop Squad stuff. So if you do run a business or you're trying to build a business, then you can sign up for something we're going to...
I think the thing that I will say about that too is we're going to be talking about that a lot more next week. So if you want to learn more about this, like our own live program that we're going to be starting soon, come back next week and we'll be talking a little bit more about that.
And for existing members, we have a Jira account. If you're not already in Jira, we'll have you in Jira Monday. So get ready to be added to Jira. All jobs will be in Jira. Everyone's you're not gonna find a job posting anywhere but Jira. And then the other reason for that is we want to make sure that everyone knows where all of the official stuff is, so that you don't get scammed or something like that. So if it's not some job coming from like Jira or something showing up in our Jira
like
account,
the Cloud Underground like official Jira,
then that's probably some scam. People scam. I don't know if you've existed in the internet era. Just be ready for scams.
Yes.
And so from the Jira account, you'll find that we'll place all of the details for if you take a job, whoever takes the job first gets the job. We're going to start with the first come, first serve. And we're only going to let people take on one job at a time for now. And once you start a job, it's going to have a strict deadline and strict requirements. And then basically, as long as you fulfill the requirements, then basically you get paid. Right now, we're going to start with like short things, and then down the road, we'll have bigger projects where if it's large enough, then you'll get paid a certain percentage up front. That's not going to probably happen until next year, depending on how things go.
Depends a lot on,
Yeah, if we whenever we land a really big something, if you take a bigger project, then you'll get like 50% up front. But otherwise, if it's something that takes like like a 48-hour project or a 24-hour project or a week-long project, then basically payment comes, you do the project, fulfill everything, and then you'll get paid. And then anyone who is getting into the pipeline, if you're coming in and you're one of our official people, we do like a test payment. So you should get a little tiny, basically enough to be like a gift, basically just for joining us. Anyone, and so everyone does require an Upwork account as we're getting started. We will organize other ways for payment as we get feedback and stuff, but we just got to start somewhere. So we're starting with, you got to have an Upwork account. So get your Upwork account set up by next week. If you're working with us, you'll basically just need to make sure that it's ready to receive payments. And anyone involved, and anyone who hasn't been doing test payments with us is going to receive our first test with that. And then we're just going to be organizing those Jira boards, and by the end of next week, we should have an idea of what it's going to look like to take a project. And then by this time next week, we should be right about ready to put our first the little paid sample jobs. Not next week, but the following week. So the week after next week, a little confusing. We're going to try to have basically our first few little test jobs. And then we're going to also start kicking off the development of our Dojo mentorship app. So we've been talking about Dojo mentorship. Our Dojo, we just use things we build ourselves. That's the thing I've said. We've been building more and more and more. So one of the things we've decided to do is not just mentor, but also show off the types of skills that we use to mentor by building together and maintaining together our own cloud native hosted mentorship app, using the same skills that we teach through mentorship, using the same skills that we use to build and deliver apps for customers and clients. And so then that way it's also sort of like a sample item and a demo at the same time of what Cloud Underground's capable of. And it's going to be using our new SaaS. We just released a SaaS, and we're thinking, what better way to kind of kick off our new SaaS services that we've been releasing other than to use it ourselves and with our own community and fund basically launching our own app off of our own SaaS services. And then if you're an enterprise company who wants to receive services from all of these people that we work with and from us, then that's our main thing that we do, is we will help you take your whether you're a department in a large enterprise or trying to build a new startup, take your idea and move that idea into basically a production stage where we especially help you with QA. Or if you already have a product, then we help you tighten up your QA process and everything to make it tighten up your QA process so that you can have a good presentation to your customers.
Well, I think that's a lot. That was a lot of information, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which was good.
It's a recording. They can watch it again.
Yes, of course. You can always come back and watch it again. So yeah, for anyone who hopped in the middle and was like, what are you guys talking about? We are, during our Fridays on the Edge live stream from here on out, we're going to be, of course, answering questions and doing what we always have done. We're also going to be kind of speaking directly to some of our like contract service providers so that we can just kind of be more transparent about our process, and for people who are potentially interested in working with us, you'll have an idea of how you can do that in the future.
Yeah.
So like we said earlier, we mainly recruit talent out of the DevSecOps Dojo. So if you want to work with us, that's the place to start. Go into the dojo, become a member, and get engaged. And
Yeah. And to everyone who helped build the Drop Squad basically program that we've been working on for forever, thank you, because we couldn't have done it without the members who have been a pivotal part. Also, I do want to say, anyone who's hearing this, if you were a part of the early Drop Squad pilot programs that we did over a year ago, I just want you to know that you're always welcome to come reconnect with us. Anyone who we approved to do something once upon a time way back when, I just want you to know that you have basically like, we grant like founder privileges to people who were like the first of something. So just know that we have resources for anyone who falls under that category, and we're happy to sponsor anyone who has, was involved like a year ago and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
totally.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that probably wraps us up for tonight.
Yeah.
But we have some more announcements
More.
coming next week. So definitely come back next week. We'll be talking a little bit more about some other programs that we have on the horizon. And yeah.
Yeah, more soon.
All right. Talk to you all later. Thanks
All
for
right.
joining us.